welcome to One Plate Kitchen, where we do three things. Number one, we save you money at the grocery store. Number two, we save you time in the kitchen. And number three, we use food as medicine to make delicious meals that are easy, fun, and healthy. When we use food as medicine, something incredible happens. We start to feel better emotionally, mentally, and physically. And isn't that what we all want? It's not about big changes, it's simple. And here, we're always gonna do it one plate at a time. Let's get cooking. Hey, Chef Rich here, and I'm so excited to share with you my new cookbook. Now, I have to say, it's more than just a cookbook. It's a starting point to unlocking and using the amazing power of food as medicine. Now, besides having the great recipes from season 1 and 2 of our TV show, One Plate Kitchen, it also contains our One Plate 5 Bs. Now, these 5 Bs are special. We created them to be impactful and make your health journey easier, less stressful, and successful. They'll serve as encouragement, motivating and inspiring you to embrace a lasting and realistic health journey. They're going to support you when you need it and push you forward when you're ready. So how do you get your copy? Go to our website to our shopping page and look for our e-cookbook. Yes, it is an e-book, and we did this for 2 reasons. Number one, the cost. By doing an e-cookbook, we can keep the cost way down. Now you're going to get all these incredible life-changing techniques and tools for less than one fast food meal. Number two, when you download it, you can bring it everywhere you go. Whether you're shopping at the grocery store or talking to your friends about healthy foods, we're there with you. It's like taking me everywhere you go. Now, we understand that the path to building healthy habits is not a one-size-fits-all approach. That's why everything we do is designed to meet you exactly where you're at. We're going to encourage you when you need it the most and then challenge you when you're ready to push forward. Whether you're striving to lose weight, improve your health, or just get a sense of balance mentally, emotionally, and physically, we're here for you. So why wait? None of us are promised tomorrow. So take control today and act now. God bless, and I'll see you in the kitchen. Hey, I'm Chef Rich, and welcome to One Plate Kitchen, where we do 3 things. Number one, we save you money at the grocery store, and I know nowadays everyone needs that. Number two, we save you time in the kitchen. And number 3, we make incredible, delicious meals that are easy and fast. Now, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and I know on almost everybody's table there's going to be some type of casserole. Let me be honest with you, I like casseroles, but in some cases I don't like. One of the ones that I don't like is the green bean casserole, and I know that's like one of the most famous casseroles on Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you some of the reasons why I don't like it. Because of canned green beans, I think sometimes it's too soupy and too sweet, and there's really not a lot of nutritional value to it. And I know you're like, oh my goodness, but it's Thanksgiving, we should be able to eat whatever we want. I mean, you could still eat very, very healthy, even on Thanksgiving. So what we're going to do today is what I like to call green bean not casserole. It's going to be much healthier, but it's still going to give you all the same flavors and textures that you're used to having. All right, now since you know what we're going to make, let's take a look at the stars of the show, the ingredients. So of course, we have our green beans. Now we're using fresh green beans here. All right, we blanched these, and I'm going to show you how to do those later on today. All right, but what we did is we just cut them, and they're so beautiful, and they're so full of vitamins and nutrition. This is what we want. We're going to be using an onion. Now, we're just going to be using a regular white onion. But if you wanted to use a Vidalia onion or a red onion, you can use any kind of onion you want. That's fine. We're also going to add bacon. Now, I know we're kind of going off of the healthy route a little bit, and that's okay. Right? I think a lot of people make these rigid rules that they try to follow, and it's not really good. We want to find a good balance. And I think in order to find a good balance, you have to have your heart and your mind working together. Once they negotiate and they talk things out, your mind will tell you bacon is no good for you, but your heart will tell you, but bacon is so delicious, it's a go in everything. Which I agree, but we want to make sure we compromise. So we're going to add a small amount of bacon. What it's going to do, you're still going to get the flavor of it, but we're not going to put so much in there where it's really going to have a big nutritional impact in there. We're also going to add mushrooms. Now we're using a regular button mushroom. You can use whatever kind of mushroom you want. Brown mushrooms, cremini mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, whichever one you want to use, that's fine. If you didn't like mushrooms, don't add them. That's okay too. All right, now we have also some toasted almonds. Now what we did is we bought raw almonds, slivered almonds, and we toasted them in the oven ourselves. So what that does is it gives it a really rich, nutty flavor, which is incredible. So instead of putting I've seen some with croutons and things like that in there. Instead of putting croutons in there, we're going to just change that out for some delicious slivered almonds. And I promise you, once you get this, you'll never go back to having bread or croutons in your green beans. We have some fresh garlic that we always got to use, of course, because it's delicious. We have some black pepper that we're going to use. We have everybody's best friend, our 1-plate herb salt. Now we also have another compromise. Classically, you have to have your fried onions with your green bean casserole. All right, so we made a little compromise. Again, we're just going to use a small amount of it, just so you still get that flavor, but it really doesn't have a huge nutritional impact on what we're going to have today. Now, we also have another secret ingredient in there, which is our sour cream. Instead of putting milk and cream and all these fats in there, we're just going to use a sour cream. You're still going to get that really rich flavor and that really rich and creaminess that's like with a classic green bean casserole, but obviously it's going to be a little bit more nutritious, and it helps us with some of the other flavors. Because it is a little tart, what it'll do is it cuts through some of that fat in there and just makes it incredible. All right, so now you know all our ingredients. There's only one thing left to do. You know what it is? Let's get cooking. So the first thing we're going to start with is the bacon. Now I have some thick cut bacon here, and it's only a couple pieces. And what I did is I rendered it out. So what that means is I took it raw, I put it in a nice low heat pan, and I just let it cook nice and slowly. And what that does is all that fat kind of renders out, and it just leaves us with kind of the meaty parts of the bacon. So I'm just going to take this now and just chop this up. And we just want to rough chop it. It doesn't have to be any specific size. We just want to cut it up. Now, to be fair to everybody, I want to make sure when I cut it up small enough where everybody will get a little piece of it. Or they don't want to chop it up where it's these really big pieces and nobody, but one or two people gets it, whoever kind of picks that out. So I'm going to get this chopped up in my pan. Once I get that in there, the next thing that's going to go in is my onion. So now there's different ways to cut an onion. For some people, it doesn't really matter. But for me, it does matter because I want to make sure everything makes sense. So now I want to make sure when I make my cut, I want it to be around the same size as my green bean. So I want to make sure my cuts are my onion are going to be kind of long strands. All right, so what I do there is I just take my onion and I'm just going to kind of make my slices. I just take my time and I make my slices all the way through. And you see it's real easy to do. Now, once I get up to the top right here, and if I don't feel comfortable continue to cut, all I'm going to do is tip this over and I'm just going to continue to cut just like that. Just like I just did. All my onions are going to be nice long strands, just like my green beans. So now I'll get this in there, and I'm just going to kind of stir this up. So I'm going to get all my onions in there at one time. Then I'm going to kind of start mixing this in. Now you can notice one of the things that we didn't put in here is fat, or butter, or olive oil. We didn't put any of that in there because we don't need it. All right, that bacon, as it cooks, will render out still a little bit more fat, and that'll be all we really need. Now, I wish you could smell this because it smells incredible. So I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit, and I'm just going to let this go. Now, how much do we cook this? It's kind of like totally up to you. One of the things that I love about food is you make it your own. Depending on what I'm doing, like for this dish, I'm going to let them go until they get a little bit brown, my onions. And the reason being that the more you cook an onion, the sweeter it becomes, the more sugar, natural sugar, it releases from itself. So that onion gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And I like that because it gives me kind of like a contrasting flavor. Now, when I get a little piece of that onion, it's going to be sweet. Now, when I get a green bean, it's going to be savory. And I get a mushroom, that's also going to be savory. So I have all these different flavors that are going on that make it really, really interesting. And all these different textures, which is also nice. So again, you can cook it till it's really brown, and it takes like maybe 20 minutes. Or you can cook it just till it gets a little translucent. Or you could just give it a quick heat if you like it really raw and crunchy. That is totally up to you. So we're going to let that go. Now the next thing that's going to go in is my mushrooms. The reason we put it in this progression is because I know onions have a lot of moisture. So anything that sticks to the bottom of this pan, I'm not too worried about it burning because I know once I put my onions in there, a lot of that moisture will come out and I'll be able to kind of cool that pan down and pick up all that deliciousness that sticks to the bottom of the pan. All right, so there's always a reason for our madness in here in the kitchen. And I always want to explain it to you because it's important that you do the same thing. You use this food to help you cook. The better we cook it, the more nutritious our food is, and the better it is for our bodies. Okay, mushrooms go in now. And again, it's totally up to you. What mushroom you want to use, it's up to you. It's your choice. But I would definitely recommend that you at least try it, unless you're allergic. If you're allergic, then obviously don't try it. Before I went to culinary school, I really didn't eat much of anything. Right? I wasn't a big food type person. I didn't really venture out to try different stuff. But once I made a decision and I said, okay, I'm going to go to culinary school, I kind of committed to just trying everything. Some of the things I would like, some of the things I'm not going to like, but I have to at least try everything. And what I noticed through my entire career is that different cooking techniques, done, especially mixed in with different flavors, brings out like different flavors in the things that I didn't know I liked. I don't know if that makes sense. So kind of, for example, shrimp. Before I went to culinary school, I was not a fan of shrimp at all. But then I went to culinary school and I had it grilled and sauteed and roasted and with this and with that and these different flavors. And I found that shrimp was delicious. It was so incredible. So that's one of the things I kind of want you for this new year coming up is to try that. Try different things. Like when we do things on the show, just try it. You might not like it, which is okay, but at least try it. Because you might surprise yourself and be like, wow, onions with bacon and mushroom are pretty incredible. They really work well together. And the good thing is, we'll do it together. You don't have to do this alone. It's me, you, and the rest of the One Plate family. All right, we're going to all do this together for our new year coming up. Okay, I wish you could smell this again, and I know I keep on telling you, but it smells incredible. Okay, so now next thing that goes in is I'm going to get my garlic in there. Now, I'm a huge fan of garlic, so I definitely like to add it where, you get to really taste it. One of the things I don't like is when you add garlic in there and you really never get to taste that the garlic is in there. I mean, if we're going to put garlic in there, let's put it in there so we can taste it. All right, so we're just going to mince this up. You don't want them too big. Your piece is too big because what will happen is you'll bite into it if it's still raw and it kind of ruins the whole entire dish. All right, so we want to make sure we have really small pieces that are in there. So we just go through and cut this up. That's perfect. Now I'm going to add this to my dish. Now I talk to a lot of people and we always talk about, okay, this ingredient and that ingredient, how do you do this ingredient? So I get a lot of different kind of comments and questions about different things. And one of the biggest ones I get is garlic. Okay, so if I'm cooking garlic, how long do I cook garlic for? And I can tell you, you only cook garlic till aroma. Once I can smell it, so I cut it up, I put it in there. Once I can smell it, and then that's it. All right, what I'm gonna do now is just move on to the next step. Garlic is so delicate that if I keep cooking it and keep cooking it, what'll happen is it kind of just loses that really delicate flavor and you really don't get to taste it anymore. All right, so I got it going now where you can smell it. It smells incredible. So now, that looks delicious too. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this now, our 1 plate herb salt. I'm just going to add a little bit. Now we want to be careful. We don't want to add too much because remember, it already has salt from the bacon too. I'm going to add some freshly ground black pepper. Give it a little spice. I like some spice. Now if you wanted to add something different, let's say you want to do something crazy like a curried green bean casserole, not casserole. We can definitely do that. So I would add my spice in now and kind of get that going. If I wanted to add like chili peppers and make it like a spicy green bean casserole, not casserole, I mean, we could add that to it too and really bring up that spice. So you can really make it your own. So this Thanksgiving, please experiment and really make it your own. And I promise you, it is going to be a huge hit. All right, so we got that all mixed in. That looks incredible. Now, the next thing that's going to go in is my green beans. Now, what we did to these green beans is I took them, I bought them, I trimmed them up, I cut everything and did what I was, cleaned them up and cut some bad pieces off of it. Then I put it in boiling salted water. Then I took it out once it cooked a little bit, and then I put in some ice water, and then I shocked it. Now, I know me kind of explaining it is one thing, but you seeing it is totally different. So while I put these in here, I want you to take a look at this. Wasn't that incredible? It's like a super easy thing. 1, 2, 3, and you get beautiful green beans. Now the good thing about that is, once I take them and put them in my ice water, I can dry them. Just put them on some paper towels just to dry. And then they're good for all week. I can use them in 3 days. I can put them in containers, airtight containers. And whenever I want green beans, either for dinner, for a snack, for a salad, I just take them out, cut them up, and they're ready to go. So it's very, very versatile. You can do a million different things with it. So let your imagination run free. Now all we do is just mix this in. I'm gonna mix this in a little bit. I just want to incorporate it. So now at this point, the only thing we're doing is letting it heat. Remember, my green beans are already cooked. They're perfectly tender, right? My mushrooms and my onions and my bacon and everything that's in there is already cooked, and that's ready to go too. So now we're just heating up our green beans. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, and then what we'll do is we'll finish this dish up with our 2 magical ingredients, or 3 magical ingredients left. It smells incredible. I'm gonna get my plates. After that, I'm gonna plate it up, and then it's going right to the dinner table. So I think Thanksgiving is like such an amazing time of the year. But some people again take it as, well, let me put my stretchy pants on because it's go time for eating. And it's fun, yes, but I want you to do it sensibly this year. Right? Don't gorge yourself on all these stuff because you don't need to. Just eat sensibly. All right, we can have some beautiful green bean, not casserole, and you'll see the flavor is incredible. It doesn't make you feel like really heavy and sick afterwards. You don't need to unloosen your belt or anything like that once you eat these. And the flavor is amazing, I promise you. All right, so now this is looking good here. Everything is nice and hot. And one of the things I want to do is I'm going to start to add some of the cream to this, our sour cream. Now this is an optional thing. You don't need to add cream to this. I mean, it has enough moisture and enough juiciness. I mean, there's tons of juiciness from our mushrooms, and you need to get some fat from the bacon, so you don't have to add it. All right, this is a totally optional thing. I just want to make sure you understand that. But we're going to add just a little bit in there. And we don't want so much where it kind of hides the color either. I want to keep that really nice, rich color in there. I want you to see all these browns, but I just want to make it like a little bit creamier. So all we're going to do now is just kind of mix this in. And you can see now it's taking on that kind of classic look of a green bean casserole. It's going to get really creamy in there, which is really nice. We just want to make sure everything's incorporated. Now, one of the things I want to do is I'm going to add my 2 crunchy parts. Now, this is all got a beautiful texture, but it's all kind of soft. Right now, we're going to add our almonds to it. And I'm going to add a little bit more almonds than I am of our onion. The reason being, obviously, our almonds are nuts and they're a little bit healthier. Now, again, if you're allergic to this, you can omit this step completely. Or you don't have to add it in. But I like to add this in because it gives it that little crunch that's surprising. So I'm going to add that in right there. I'm just going to let it warm up a little bit. What we don't want to do is add liquid into this and then add our really crunchy almonds, because what will happen is it gets really soggy and it doesn't give you what you want anymore. So if we can get away with not putting any more moisture in here, then we're good. Now the last thing we're going to put in is our fried onions. But that's always going to be just a little bit of sprinkle on top. So before I plate this up, I just want to get a little taste and see how everything is. Okay, just a little more salt in there. But those green beans are incredible. That's it. The dish is done. Let's plate it up. So, one of the things I don't like is when people just take this and just dump it in there. I like to take my time. If you took so much time and effort to cook this, I want to make sure that you plate it up where it really shows everything. All right, I like all the green beans to kind of go in one direction. I don't want to hide anything. I want you to see all these incredible textures and flavors in there. So we'll put the green beans down, and what always happens is like all the good stuff gets scooped on last, which is okay. So I got my green beans, I put those down. Those are looking beautiful. Now I'm going to scoop on my last bit of all this goodness, and I want you to see this goodness, so I'm going to kind of turn it so you can see it. And we're just going to kind of just scoop that in there. One of the things I don't want to do is cover up all my green beans. I want you to see that color contrast in there. I want you to see the greens, but I also want you to see all these textures and the browns and the onions. I want you to see all that. Now the last thing we're going to do is just gently just sprinkle in, and we don't need a lot. All right, we'll still get a ton of that flavor, but we'll just sprinkle it in. And that's it. Our green bean, not casserole, that I promise you is going to be one of the best dishes at your Thanksgiving table. So there you go. Getting healthy one plate at a time. From our family here at One Plate to yours, happy Thanksgiving and God bless. I'll see you next time.
Hey, Chef Rich here, and I want to officially introduce you to my One Plate herb salt. Now, this is the perfect all-in-one seasoning that I carefully handcrafted to enhance any dish. Now, our proprietary herb blend not only provides delicious flavor, but also offers antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties for the health-conscious eater. Now, it's also packed with vitamins and minerals, and that green hue comes from the natural chlorophyll found in fresh herbs. To get some for yourself, visit our website.